Influential people, that's the focus of today's voice. Influential people come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and even genders. As you go through your life, whether it's professionally, personally, athletically, socially, whatever it is that you do, influential people will always be the core of why you do things. I know it was for me over the course of 37 years. And when I say that influential people can really be the force and drive as to why you do something every single day, that can be your ticket to doing better at something that you wish to do. When I think of influential people, I think of one person in particular. I used to work with at an airline. We used to work on the ramp together as ramp agents. And this person taught me about real hard perseverance. They got injured on the job, and they came back and did even better than before. But I think the real big thing that I kind of saw was they didn't let the injury rattle them, and they kept going. It was probably one of the best things I've ever seen. And when I think about that day, seeing that and just seeing this person lead by example like that, I thought to myself, you have no excuse if something happens to you. If you don't show up, you have no excuse. Get your butt to work and work as hard as you can. When I saw that person do that and I saw them come to work every day, it made me want to work twice as hard. Not just because they were on my team, but because of the influence they had, not just on myself, but the rest of the team as well too. To this day, let me see, hold on. That was back in 2019, 2020. To this day, I still think about that. And I think about how much that motivates me every single day. There's a lot of stuff that I like to do to motivate people. This podcast, quotes, share things that I've read in books that help people, my own experiences that I try to help people with. But that's the one experience that had the biggest influence on me that I'll never forget. I'll never forget about the resiliency. I'll never forget about the never say die attitude, no fear. I'm going to get through this attitude that person had. And plus, they're a great person too. I still consider them such a dear friend today. And again, it doesn't matter what they are, whether they're female, male, black, white, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it. People can have an influence on you. You can look up to people who are different than you, younger than you, older than you, whatever. But when those people have impacts on you, it's important to understand and then give an extra effort of what you're doing to influence other people as well as they have influenced you. I even think about entrepreneurs as well too. Entrepreneurs, in my personal opinion, are the most influential people that I have ever seen on the face of the earth. They're faced with many challenges. running businesses from the ground up. It's a hard thing to do. They may not have the support that they need. Maybe they do, but for the most part, what I've seen, they don't. And they have to think about their efforts from a money standpoint, management standpoint, product standpoint, service standpoint. How are they going to get that off the ground? It's very inspiring because, sometimes entrepreneurs fail once, they fail twice, but they keep going. It's the spirit within them that keeps going. They have a never say die, I'm not punching the clock attitude. You can't get any better than that, people. You really can't. If you've ever met an entrepreneur in your life, I suggest you go and meet one and talk to one. And after you get done talking to one, if you're not motivated to the point where you're about ready to run through a fired wall, I don't know what will. But I will say, people that I know in the entrepreneur area and this person that I was talking about that I worked with at the airline, they make me want to run through a wall every single day. Every single day. I think about them when I get up, when I'm on the job to do it with quality. And one of the things I try to do to, honor them as people is to do my job with quality every single day on my own projects or in my corporate life. They become the largest influences on me personally, and they've motivated me to influence other people. They have. And I think when people influence you to motivate other people, they've done a bigger job than they have imagined. Because if you don't think, people, that others are watching and they get influenced by you, you're wrong. They do. So remember that next time you're doing something. Whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're not, you're influencing people in some type of way. You're influencing your children as a parent. You're influencing your subordinates if you're a manager. You're influencing your coworkers at a job. And you're influencing people in life just by being who you are. It really is one of the big puzzles of life that I always think that if you have the power to influence people, you can change the world. For good, not for worse. Well, you can technically for worse, but in this case, I'm talking about for good. And if that's something that motivates you and inspires you and gets you up every day, keep doing what you're doing. And you just might change the world by your influence. Like the person I was talking about that I worked with at the airline did for me. They did. I appreciate them wholeheartedly for everything they did. And how they've influenced me, they've really affected my life permanently for the better. Even friends that I have that are entrepreneurs, they've affected my life permanently for the better. It made me look at things different. It also helped me change my attitude from negative to positive about where I'm going in life. My name is Scott Foley. Thank you for listening today. Have a blessed day.